Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I'm George. We're all George. So today, we had a pretty volatile day. Fed Chair Powell shocks the world with a couple of declarations. So let's talk about that. And also, how that affects Bitcoin. And today is DCA night. So we will do that as well. All right, let's do it. Welcome, guys. Hopefully you guys are hanging in there. I didn't cover the FOMC meeting today, but I did listen to parts of it. And quite interesting. He said a few things, so I'm going to cover it. But, you know, obviously, we had, after the CPI reading this morning, Bitcoin pumped up almost to 70. Actually, it did hit 70,000. Then dropped back down to 67, and now it's holding at 68. Overall, we're trending upwards, but does this go down? However, that may not be a bad thing, and I'm going to show you why. Okay, so today, overall, you know, we had a mixed day, although NASDAQ was in the green. We had CPI come out, which showed numbers where inflation is less than expected. So a lot of people thought that maybe Fed Chair Powell is going to cut the Fed fund rate today. Well, no. Not only did he not cut it, but he said that there will only be one rate cut this year. We went from 3 to 2 to now 1. Okay. So when is that going to come? According to analysts, it's probably going to be September. We're probably not going to see it in July, and nothing in August, and probably in September right before the elections. That makes sense. But he did say a couple interesting things, very interesting things. In fact, you could almost say that he called out our own government. Okay. So looking through here, you know, they summarize a couple things. Too soon to the Fed policy sufficiently restrictive, meaning, okay, is inflation actually going to go down more? That's not a surprise, right? Powell has no definitive answer on why Americans view economy so negatively. I don't get that. It's pretty easy to tell. Inflation is still high. Goods and services are still high. A lot less spending. The economy is just not as good as before. So I don't know why he has no answer for that. Okay. No one on the Fed committee has rate hikes in their base case. Oh, no, duh. No one's talking about that. Now, this is what's most interesting, I would say. Powell says recent job data may be a bit overstated. Okay, so to quote, there's an argument that they may be a bit overstated, but still they're strong. We're seeing gradual cooling and gradually moving towards better balance. What does that mean? Jobs data may be a bit overstated. So now Edward Snowden said, not sure I've ever seen the chairman of Federal Reserve publicly accuse the White House of cooking the books on employment numbers, but here we are. Is that what Powell's really doing? Because it sounds like it. It sounds like he's talking about how this that just came out last week, right? The job numbers somehow blew away expectations, and no one thought that that was going to be the case. And it made no sense because unemployment actually went up. So how could you have much better payroll job number when unemployment is going up? It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And even Fed Chair Powell called that out a bit overstated. What does that mean exactly? Is our government fudging the numbers and making it look better than it is? I mean, that's what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like. So the two surprise, I would say that's the biggest thing, right? Like first, he actually stated something like this. He didn't just come out and say, well, I think those numbers are fake. I mean, he just kind of like, it's a bit overstated. How is that possible? If it's real data, it can't be overstated. Like data is data. It's supposed to be fact, right? Like how can it be overstated? So that doesn't make sense. And number two is we're only going to have one rate cut this year. Okay, down from 3, down to 2, down to 1. Okay, so that's what happened today. You know what? Not unexpected, but again, this is unexpected. Ultimately, you know, Powell is stuck between a rock and a hard place. We know that, right? He's trying to bring inflation down, trying to make sure inflation is not entrenched. But it's hard to do when our government continues to print more money and also borrow more money at the same time. Of course, when we have more money in circulation, inflation is going to go up because each dollar becomes worth less. And that is why our national debt is about to surpass $35 trillion probably by the end of this month. Okay, in the upper left-hand side right here, U.S. national debt, it wasn't too long ago, we were at 32 trillion, 33 trillion, we're above 34 trillion, and pretty soon 35 trillion. Okay, national debt going up is not a good thing. In fact, there's a secret window here. We are paying close to, as a country, $1 trillion per year in just interest alone on our debt. 1 trillion. Think about that. Okay, so of course the debt is going to go up. Of course, we're going to print more money. Of course, we're going to borrow more money. And ultimately what that leads to is higher inflation. So Powell has a really hard job because his job primarily is to cut inflation. But how is he going to do that when the government keeps on printing more and borrowing more? So the only thing he could do is raise rates, right? But our rates are so high already. The Fed fund rate is already above 5, and he's under pressure to cut now because the economy is not doing so good. So he's really stuck between a rock and a hard place, right? That's why his only course of action right now is to say, okay, we're not going to cut right now, but we will cut later. So that is what is happening now. And because of this, that's why we have Bitcoin, right? That's why we have Bitcoin. That's why we so many people and companies and institutions that are now realizing that a Bitcoin strategy is necessary and definitely needed and is being embraced by so many, right? To have Bitcoin, that's how you hedge against everything that I just said, all the shenanigans that's being done, okay? And ultimately, inflation will never go away because we have a money printer, and as a country, we can't control ourselves. We will always print, and we will always borrow, and we will never pay back that debt. No one's thinking about that. No one's thinking about cutting debt down, right? It's like an endless cycle, a vicious cycle. That's why so many are turning to Bitcoin, right? Inflation continues to erode the purchasing power of cash. That's why it's so important to buy assets like Bitcoin. And the greatest appreciating asset we have today is Bitcoin. Nothing outperforms Bitcoin long term, right? Yeah, and that's why everyone's following in. Look at this. Fortune 500s moving to on-chain. You got 39% year over year, record high. Fortune 500 executives say 56% of their companies are working on on-chain. I mean, basically, everyone wants to move either on-chain, build on-chain, utilize on-chain, or buy assets that are on-chain like Bitcoin, right? Total whale holdings, monthly percentage change going upwards. It kind of leveled out in April and May. Now in June, we're starting to see a rise. Again, that whale accumulation, right? You just don't know what happens sometimes. Now we're starting to see they're coming back, right? They're realizing this is the time to buy, right? And a lot of metrics also show that. Like this is the time to be buying. Here's something else. In terms of holders, less than 7.5% of Bitcoin has moved in the last 30 days. That's very, very tiny, okay? 19.5% of all coins moved in 30 days, and 2017 was 21.7% of all coins. So you could see the holders, Okay, basically what this is showing is the holders are getting stronger and stronger and stronger. In 2013, 25% of all coins moved happened, well, I think this is the average, right? 30 days, and then it was 21.7%, 19.5%. Right now, it's 7.5%. Again, because of shenanigans, inflation, and institutions getting in, ETFs, everything, whale accumulation, very little Bitcoin is being moved or sold. So that's why eventually the prices go catch up. Supply and demand. Demand is going up, supply is going down. It's really that simple, right? In terms of ETFs, yesterday we had a massive outflow. It broke a streak of 19 days, but today it looks like it's going to be a really good inflow. A lot of the funds already reported, and we're going to see a positive inflow day. So great. We had one negative out of the last 20 days. Now we're moving back into the green, which is fantastic. But here's the thing about FOMC meeting and Bitcoin right now hovering around 68,000. We may seem like, okay, all's lost. What Powell said is kind of bearish or hawkish. So that means we're about to go lower. Not necessarily, because I showed it this morning and I looked at it again. We tend to see this happen. In fact, we tend to see this happen a lot, where the day of, okay, and sometimes even a day afterwards, we see like a bloody day. We see a red day. And then what happens? Then we get ready and we form actually a new high. It has happened many times going all the way back to 2023. We have seen where on the day of the FOMC meeting, we see a slight dip or a major dip. And then afterwards, we head to a new high. So there's a possibility that that is what's going to happen tomorrow. Tomorrow, markets may turn green. Bitcoin may turn green in a big way, paving the way for 80,000, right? That could be a possibility, because whatever Powell said today wasn't that bad. So Wall Street might take it as, okay, nothing has changed. We're still getting a rate cut. No chance of a rate hike. And Powell just admitted that the government's fudging numbers. So let's just go buy some Bitcoin. So that there's a possibility of that. I did say that this morning too. A lot of times right after FOMC meeting, you see some weakness and then you just head back up. Ultimately, you know what? All this that I'm saying, that's all short-term stuff. Long-term, again, I don't need to remind you guys that Bitcoin continues to form higher highs and higher lows, okay? With the volatility, with the distractions, yes, these FOMC meetings and all these geopolitical macro stuff, like, they're all distractions. Ultimately, Bitcoin is going to go higher because demand outstrips supply. And if you're looking at like these kind of on-chain metrics, we are in a really good spot. Look at right before a major breakout in 2017. We're mimicking the 2017 level a lot, where we straddled that MZ line, that 0.5 MZ line, and then we broke out. We're straddling that line right now, looking to break out. It's going to happen, and when it happens, it's going to be marvelous. All right. So that's pretty much it. But you know what? That's not all. Today is DCA day. Okay, I think it's Wednesday night, DCA day. I brought up my portfolio. Okay, refreshing. I know it's down from last week. Down oh, that's not right. It can't be up 500 something percent. I think it got logged out. Let me try it again. Yeah, I got logged out. Hold on. Let me log in. All right, logged in. So week to week, it's down. I know that. We had a little bit of down week, down 8%, but still. Okay, all time, going all the way back to 2021, still up 71%. And many of you guys, same thing. You've been DCing since 2021 or 2022 or 2023, and you're way in the green. I know a lot of you guys are. So this shows the power of DCA. All right, anyways, so let's see. What do I buy? What do I add today? I forgot what I added last week. I think I made some moves. I cleared out some losers. But this week we got more red because the alts got a little bit weaker. Bitcoin still remains strong. Solana, Ethereum, Avalanche, BNB, Stacks all doing well. Cardano just not doing well. Phantom is in the green still. VeChain not doing that well. Polygon really struggling here. Cosmos and Sui also struggling. Arbitrum struggling. I think they're struggling because of base. They're really losing the base. Say is also struggling a bit. Karate I added in there, went down a little bit. I think they added them last week. Celestia, man, they have become really weak. Pepe's in here. Arweave, Pith. A lot of these have turned red. Flux, Hedera, right? What should I add? What should I add? Victor, just so you know, this is a sample portfolio that I've been adding to since 2021. This is not my real portfolio, which is much larger in size. But this shows you a good idea, like what the projects look like in my own personal portfolio, the ones that I believe and support. And basically, the purpose of this is to show you guys that DCA long-term works without all the fancy trading or the guessing. You take all that away, DCA every week, and this is the kind of gains you get, right? I'm looking at comments here. Add more Phantom, add Stacks, add BNB. I mean, BNB is already up here. It's my 5th largest holding here. Phantom, you know, they're going through the Sonic upgrade pretty soon. Brett, add Brett. I got a lot of memes in here already. I still have Myro in here. I'm not sure Myro is going to like do that well. All the momentum went elsewhere. I almost want to kind of convert that, but you know, I'll just keep it for now. I added Pepe. Pepe is having a down week. Fetch, I do have Fetch in here. Fetch is up here. Fetch is up 250% here. So they have been doing really well. Render, Ondo, I can't get behind Ondo. Ondo is just not something. Cockanu is still, Cockanu and Snack, they're both way in the green still. Man, I really don't know. Brett is up 31% for the week. Injective is up. Let's see, what's down for the week? Floki, Ethna, Gala, Whiff, Singularity, Fetch, Pith, Arweave, Phantom, Celestia, Jupiter. Jupiter. Jupiter sounds pretty good. How much do Jupiter do I have? I'm up 20% on Jupiter. Relatively low. I think Jupiter could be a good one. Yeah, Solid Unbearable also said Jupiter. Immutable. Do I have Immutable? I'm pretty sure I have Immutable. Yeah, Immutable I have in here. Very little, but still up 49%. So I have Immutable. Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of Solana already. Maybe it's time to add a little bit more ETH because of the ETF hype. And then you can never go wrong Bitcoin, obviously. Can't go wrong Bitcoin. Can't go wrong stacks because of Bitcoin. You know what? I'm going to add a little bit of Jupiter and maybe ETH. I haven't added ETH in a long time. And maybe a little Solana too. I'll split it 3 ways just to make it fair. I think that's good. I'll do a 3-way add here. So $33 divided by 152.396. So that's 0.2165. Okay, and then ETH. $33 by 31.59. 0.009344. And then I said I was going to add a little Jupiter. $34.725. Okay. So 3-way split today. Solana, ETH, and Jupiter. All right. Let's do some Q&A. Oh, my camera fixed itself. I can't believe, though, like, Brett is now right behind Bonk. Brett has just been absolutely going nuts. All right, let's see here. Let me scroll up. Let me see if I missed anything. Wisdom says there are a lot of shorts around 71 to 73K. Yes, billions. Last time was 14 billion. I don't know. It's probably higher than that now. NMB, the price is being artificially suppressed. When the pressure is released, explosive price action will happen. Yes, that is for sure. Las Vegas is 105 today. Death Valley is 113. I've been to Vegas when it's above 100, and even with the breeze, it's just hot air, and it feels like you're having just like heaters blow air on you. It is not enjoyable to be in Vegas when it's that hot. Andy and Solana is pumping. Can check it out. I think you spelled Andy wrong, man. I think you're talking about this Andy. Not pumping today, no. Actually going down a little bit. Celtics are playing right now. Man, I think Mavs are done. Mavs can't handle that. You know, Celtics are so loaded. I don't even know how they got so loaded, but there's no way Mavs can come back. It's not even ball game at this point. Cam is asking, how big do you see the meme coins section being this cycle compared to prior cycle? Meme coins are going dominant, guys. I think people miss or underestimate how strong memes will be this cycle. I would not be surprised. Like right now, if you look at this top 100, okay, how many memes make up top 100? Let's just count, right? Let's go up here. Let's see if I missed anything. So there is 1. All right. And then 2, 3, 4. Let's see, 4, 5. And then 6, 7, right? So 7 out of 100. That's actually not bad. If you count XRP and Cardano, that'll be 9. But 7 out of 100 isn't bad. But if you go back to 2021, how many were there? There were 2, right? And they didn't even hit the top 100 until the very last month. Then they shot up there. But prior, they weren't even in it. I would not be surprised. We would go we go from 7 to maybe even as high as 20 plus. Okay, of memes in the top 100 by the end of the cycle. That would not surprise me. There are a lot that's hanging around 500 million, 600, 700 million. They could all become multi-billions and go into the top 100. So I think people underestimate how big memes will be this cycle. Matt C, are you familiar with ChainSwap? Yup. First DEX built on Chainlink. First DEX to utilize. Yup. I've covered them a few times before in the past. I think they have promise. I do. I got a sleeper, Labs on Solana Network. Curious to hear your thoughts on the chart. Insane Labs. Okay, when did it come out? Came out in May. Kind of holding on Solana. Circulating supply is good amount. Not that much unreleased. What is this? Is it protein? Psychotic. You get some whey protein and you get some creatine. Why do they need a crypto? JV date. I feel like you fooled me. You're probably the owner of that company. Where's the TRT, man? You got some TRT on that site? Yeah, pre-workouts, protein, creatine, peptides, whatever. You don't need a crypto for that, okay? You just don't. JV, what's happening with Cardano's price? Still worth it? I think there will be better movers this cycle. If that answers your question. Nine breaker. I wish Powell would have just been corrupt like the other politicians, preaching Bidenomics and not admitted the payrolls were overstated. Just kidding, maybe. I don't quite understand what you said, but it sounds right. Basically, he admitted that there's some fudging of the numbers in terms of the payroll job numbers. Most people don't need supplements at all. I 100% agree with that. Based on it, most people get enough of what they need from food only. But, if you're hardcore into working out, I could see how you may need a little boost. Free speech. You're the only crypto channel worth watching. I appreciate that. I do. You know, sometimes I feel like, even myself, I feel like I'm repetitive. You know, like I'm just bringing hope. But, you know, sometimes that's all that's needed, right? Not everyone watches all my streams. There's always new people coming in. People don't understand. And many of you guys do want to hear me bring that hope and bring that knowledge, right? Even though I have repeated it many times, but, you know, I continue to do what I do. Why do you say that Polygon isn't going to make it? I didn't say that. I just said they could be weaker. Because from what I hear, they can't scale. They can't scale at all. And they're driving all games away. They're trying to just be a DeFi chain that competes with Arbitrum and other L2s. So a little worried about that. VR says you keep forgetting that Cardano is leading the last bull market. That is some bull jive right there. Cardano didn't lead anything. It did well, just like the others, but it certainly didn't lead anything. Crypto Esquire, I appreciate that. You are bull jiving, VR. Okay, you know what? I'll fact check you right now. All right, let's look at Cardano. Let's go into the 8-day chart. Let's look at their peak in 2020. Oh, it doesn't even go back that far. We need ADA on something else. Let's go with Binance. All right. Ooh. They're down 90-something% from their top. Down 80. Ooh, they're still down like way. All right. So I don't know where we want to start here. Let's just start. Let's just pick, like, I don't know. Let's pick December, beginning of December. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it like that. Price range. So beginning of December 1st, and then we go all the way to the peak. I think that's about right. I don't know if I got that exactly right down here. I think it's more like this. But okay, that's close enough. That shows 2,256%. That's kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy. December of 2020 to the peak in 2021. All right, so now what else is there? What else can I compare? I don't know. Sol? I don't know if it's fair to compare Sol. Let's just say Sol. Let's just see what happens. I don't even know. You may be right. All right, let's do Sol. Let's go back. Here, right? No, I gotta go back further. So Sol. So we said December 2020, right? So December 1st of 2020, right about here, all the way up. Okay. So clearly, Jesus. So Solana from December 2020 to the peak in 2021 went up 58,000%. 58,000. Versus ADA at 2,200. So 50-something thousand versus 2,000. That already proves that. Oh, wait, no. You know what? No. I did December. Okay, I did December. Yeah, December 2020. Yeah, I did it right. December 2020. I want to make sure I did it right. Did I pick December 2020? Yeah, I did. Okay, so again, 57,000% versus 2,200. Who's the winner? Solana. It's not even close. So VR. And VR now it's backtracking. When I said leading, I meant it was first to start the all bull run. No, that's bull jiving too. They all started around the same time. Anyways. Osama, I appreciate that. Deputy Dog says, you're invited to my yacht party after I become a millionaire. Okay, I'll take you up on it. Hopefully it's like Miami, because Miami is a great party town. George jets off. Hi, the new Runes protocol made all the new BTC memes, gas run on BTC, aka dog doesn't require dog to send it. It uses BTC as gas. Cool or not? I'm not so sure that's actually good because now, well, it's sort of. So I guess you need more BTC to send, but I'm assuming it's a cost congestion, but I know that runes work differently, so I believe there's not a lot of congestion with runes. I don't quite know. I need to study runes more. It's just something that I'm not terribly familiar with, if I'm being honest. John Terrell, the rising tide lifts all ships. Do you think BlackRock will introduce a Luna Classic ETF in 2025? No, man. No. Why would they do that? That makes no sense at all. That's like, why don't they come out with an Enron ETF too? Right? Let's come out with Montgomery Ward ETF. I mean, that makes no sense at all. Why would they do that? No, I'm not tipsy at all. In fact, I just drank a Gatorade Zero and I worked out crazily today. Why would Andrew Tate want to crash Solana? No, he's not crashing it. He's like, his meme is going crazy right now. Only the old people know about Montgomery Ward. I don't even know how I thought about that. And Circus City and what else is there? Toys R Us. I hope there's a Cryptoverse party again. You mean Ben Collins? Probably not, because the Bitcoin conference isn't there this year. He usually has it during the Bitcoin conference, but this year's in Nashville. And there'll be crazy things happening in Nashville this year. I hear it's the Vegas of the Midwest. I still don't quite believe that, but we'll see. But the Bitcoin conference is going to be there. A huge Karate Combat IFC fight will be there. Supposedly a lot of the presidents or presidential candidates will be there because they're all like pro Bitcoin. It's going to be wild. It's probably the one conference you want to go to. Just saying. Davis asking about Ether. I don't know. A lot of people got into it. A lot of KOLs got into it. I didn't get into that one. So, whenever projects tell me like, oh, we have nodes to sell and stuff, I'm like, nah, that's not for me. Yeah, Nashville seems like it's a good old city for some family fun and country music. I'm not so sure about anything else. What if, NMBS, what if crypto holders become the most dominant voters? Do you think people, aka politicians, will start taking crypto more seriously? Yeah. I mean, there are some that are taking it very seriously already. There are many that are bag holders for sure. That's why we're not talking about banning crypto anymore. We're beyond that. Now it's about how do we regulate, right? Let's come out with the framework. How do we tax? You know, the maturity, I guess, is coming, whether we like that or not. I mean, we just get a better SEC chair, remove Gary. I think that solves like 90% of our problems. But yeah. Han, yeah, pretty much. Do I play D4? I have it. I did play it when it first came out. I don't anymore. My son the other day was just asking to play it. I may start it up again. I don't know. I'm just like not into games right now. Vu Lee says, funny you said tax. I dreamed of you, George, creating a tax coin. Super popular, top 15. I already know the two coins. Like if I was going to create a meme coin, I have two names and two symbols I could use. And I'm not sure what they are, but some of you guys could guess. But man, I'm just seeing like everyone's launching their own meme coin, right? Like everyone is launching like it's the Wild West right now. You know, even Tate is doing it, and all these other small influencers are doing it. Everyone's launching all their own shit meme coins. I just think I could do it better, and with you guys backing me, I think we get that to a bill by the end of a billy by the end of this cycle. And everyone's better for it. You know, I had that debate all the time, but you know, I don't know. I don't know about Gary. Mauricio, appreciate it. Launch as a celebration of your retirement next year. Yeah. How much do you earn as a YouTuber? I would say more than most. Let's just put it that way. But here's the thing: I put everything into crypto. All my assets, right? Besides, you know, my house and cars, but everything else is in crypto. You know. When Garrett gets fired, Elizabeth Warren would take his place. No, hopefully that's no. That'd actually be worse. That would be one person that's worse than Gary for that job. You know, I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I actually think there may be a chance that we get a really big pump tomorrow. Wall Street could turn green. It could start out red and then turn green. We have seen that a couple times now, going back, you know, this year and even beginning of last year, we have seen that. So tomorrow we could see the same thing happen. I'm looking forward to it. Have you met Bas Rutten yet? Yeah, I shook his hand. I was commentating with him in Mexico earlier this year with IFC1. He's a good guy, very popular. Everyone's going up to him, taking pictures. I met GSP at the last one during Consensus. Hoping to meet more people. What do you think we hit first? 60K or 73K? 73K. Jets asked, why are all these politicians so damn old? I agree with you. Wouldn't it be nice to have, let's say, a president that's like maybe 50s, right? Someone that's actually clued in on what's actually happening with, with modern times, rather than like we have presidents that's always like 70s or 80s and they're so out of touch and they really just don't know what's going on. Wouldn't it be nice to have like politicians that are somewhat younger with fresh ideas, again, in tune with what's going on, can make some valuable changes that actually affects the younger generation? That would be nice, but it just doesn't seem like that's going to happen. What do you think about ICP? I'm not a fan of ICP. I'll just leave it at that. The fake exhaust tips on Audi SQ5. Audis look great, but they just don't hold their value, and they're just always third fiddle to the Germans. Man, I can't believe that GT e-tron that they have, whatever is, yeah, I think they call it e-tron GT. Those were like selling for 150K MSRP. You can find them for like 60K now. Like no one wants them. It's crazy how much they depreciated. Osama, could you review Starry? CTO is creating partnerships. You know what? I've heard that before. I've heard that a million times. Okay. But, for you, I will bring it up. 141,000 market cap. I'm sorry, man. I can't be reviewing something that has 141,000 market cap. It has to at least be a few million. Thoughts on Saudi moving away from the dollar impact to crypto? No, it's not going to impact crypto. It's going to impact the US dollar. There's more and more countries moving off the dollar standard, which is not good for the US. And ultimately, it's going to cause the dollar demise. But it's going to take a long time. It's not anytime soon. David Digital is asking, basically, is it irresponsible not to hold some ton coin? That's an interesting question because it's not a meme. But, there's just something about ton coin that I don't quite trust. Like, it has a really weird history. But outside of that, you see a lot of ton is right now, what's popular on them is all these, like, clicky games. And they're getting rewarded in ton. But I don't even know if those clicky games are on top of the chain. It seems like they're built in Telegram. There's just weird relation with Telegram. So I don't even know if any of it is actually on chain or not. There's some memes, but there's not a whole lot of trading, DEXs and DeFi and infrastructure. It doesn't have any of that. It just seems like Telegram is like just putting boatloads of money into it, right? It's almost like that. But to answer your question, I do think based on the momentum it has and look at it, it's above Cardano already by 3 billion. It could definitely keep climbing the charts. Can it be like a Solana and get up to 70 billion? I don't know, maybe by the end of the cycle, but yeah, they're actually the surprise. I would say the biggest surprise for me so far is Toncoin. I still don't quite trust it, but at this point you figure it's so big it can't crash, right? Well, then again, look at what happened with Luna, so I can't say that for sure. The plans by Dan. Have you seen Byte? Monster meme with massively growing community. I didn't see that. I have seen it before, but I don't know about how high it is now. I just know that Brett is going crazy. Byte. I don't know about massively growing community. 9K holders. It's not bad, but 22 million? I mean, it's not back to its previous high, but it is growing. Can it get back up there? Sure. I hate that logo though. That's a really silly logo. Not a fan of that. The debt address is only 3.68. That's quite low. So I don't know if they burned their liquidity. I don't actually know if they burn their liquidity or not. Will Metaverse make a comeback? I think so. When games get hot, Metaverses will come back. But games are not hot right now, so I don't know. I don't know when it's going to be like the turning point. I would assume maybe end of this year. I think like around September, October, we're going to see some major movement, right? Especially now, the jobs report is fudged, so Powell's looking to do one rate cut probably around September. I think around that time is when the whole crypto space really shoots up in a big way, and we may get a mini altcoin season there. So, maybe. Is pizza or hamburgers better? Of course it's burgers. All right, guys. I'll let you go. Overall, we got good CPI reading, which is probably fudged. Jobs number, that's probably fudged. And Powell calling the job numbers out, which is actually kind of surprising, right? We're going to get one rate cut later this year. We don't know when. But what we do know is this. Inflation is not going to stop. The printing is not going to stop. The debt is never going to stop. So you want to load up on what hedges against all of these things, and that's Bitcoin. And we'll see tomorrow. There could be a good chance that tomorrow we get a market rally based on history of previous FOMC meetings. All right. Smash the like, subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. All right. Have a good one. Take care.